Okay, everybody. My roommate picked up Kinect a few days ago, and I figure I should give a general review of the Kinect, how it will make you look like an idiot to your friends when you're playing it. Uh, here's the good first from the Kinect. It's a lot better playing wise in many respects than the Wii. The motion control is much easier. The fact that you have full body motion, it can read when you're bending down, when you can kick, which is makes the sports games a lot more fun. If you're playing Kinect Sports, you can if you're playing a soccer game, you actually kick as opposed to doing some motion with the hands with a Wiimote. Uh, and like I said, the whole body motion too, very wide range. I can jump from one side of the invisible box that you're supposed to be standing in. Uh, I can jump from one side of that to the other, and it very accurately reads what I'm doing. There's some delay. There is a little bit of lag in some games, which can get very annoying. There's been times where again, playing the Kinect Sports game, will dodge, and I dodge, but it took like a couple seconds for the character to react and cost me points, and you wind up screaming bullshit a lot. It is kind of funny though. It does also record, by the way, when you play it. A lot of times it'll play back or take photos of what you were doing, and you will look like an idiot. I'm sure Google Connect video or something along that line here on YouTube, and you're going to see a lot of people embarrassing themselves. Uh, as for which games we had to Connect Sports, a decent package of varied games. It's a bunch of mini games, which is let me get into the other game first before I get into all this. We also got Kinect Adventures, uh, which very much is actually more fun. I think they had a more it's more theme based. They're able to incorporate a lot more with all these weird little things. Some of the Kinect Adventures are kind of stupid, like plugging holes in a glass thing underneath the ocean. Uh, that's a very slow game, and after a while it can get annoying. But there are a lot of downsides to this. One is that you don't have a controller at all, which means it's hard to do the combination that the Wii could do, where some of the more complex motions or other things, you at least still had a Wiimote you could hit. You had a few buttons you could hit. You had a trigger you could pull, which made some of the games a lot more playable. And I think that's going to be a big downside for the Kinect, is that it doesn't have a controller. Now they might try to incorporate games, and like I said, we've only played those two, and there might be other games that still have you hold a controller while using the Kinect. That might be more manageable. But really, that is one advantage that the Wii does have, is that the fact that it has a controller, there's buttons you can hit. So for some more complex stuff, you can handle it. Like the other big one, I'm sure if you've been looking at reviews, you've seen this, is the space requirements. It requires a huge amount of, well, not a huge amount of space, but a decent amount of space to play this. So in your house or apartment, you're going to have at least 10 square feet of open space. You can't be too far back, too much forward. And I mean, you can maybe limit yourself a little bit, but you kind of want even more than that 10. You don't want strictly 10 free square feet at the right distance from your Xbox to play this game, which is going to be hard if you're in an apartment building, or if you're living in an apartment. It's going to be very difficult to play the Kinects. I keep on calling it Kinects. To play the Kinect. Also, I mean, if your house is somewhat small or cluttered, it's going to be an issue. Uh, I have a feeling that the Kinect is not going to go thus very far because of the restrictions. It's going to be so hard to develop for it. I wouldn't put a whole lot of faith in it, and the very fact that I haven't seen yet a full game. Again, the only stuff I've seen out is a collection of mini games and some dance games. To me, that's telling me that there's probably not going to be a whole lot of development. It's so hard for anyone to get a proper full game like a Halo or a Call of Duty or something. again, maybe if they try to incorporate stuff, but the space requirements are going to limit a lot of people. And even, I mean, I know a lot of people had this with the Wii, but a lot of times you have to move your Xbox wherever you have it. I mean, I know with us, we had to raise the Xbox up because before we had it on a little, crate right in front of the television because we have a wall-mounted TV, and for us to have the right height to have the Kinect read us well, we had to put a couple extra boxes there to raise up the Kinect and the Xbox. So you might have to rearrange your TV setup, or well, at least the part where your Xbox is located. However, for $150, if you can easily drop $150, it's a really fun party game or a party system to have. If you don't normally have a lot of people over, all right, I'm living in an apartment with 4 roommates, and we're really good friends with our neighbors. So on the weekends, we always have about 6 to 8 people hanging out in our apartment. That's good for having the Kinect for. If you don't, and only once in a blue moon have more than a few people over, your Kinect's not going to get a whole lot of use because the games will get bored, very boring, very quickly. It's only fun when you have a bunch of people to play with. That's when things get interesting. If you don't, if it's just going to be like you and your girlfriend, or you and your brother, or you and your roommate, you're going to play it for like a week and then forget about it. Some people will be different. Some people will be able to play this thing nonstop, but I'm talking aggregate here, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. It'll be an interesting thing. Maybe this stuff will be more incorporated. It also gets tiring after a while. If you're playing a game to relax after a day, Kinect will get you a little bit of a workout, which could be a good thing. But that's my review of it.